Well, depending on how I edit this, you'll probably have a good idea that we traveled a little further than we typically do to come to this spot. This is actually an area that we came to, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago. I was just online, kind of found it on a whim, and thought, well, that'd be cool to check out. And so we loaded up Sammy and came to check it out. And the last few months we've been thinking we'd like to come back and see it again. So on this trip we've got petroglyphs, we've got a fishing hole, we've got this big slick rock. This is kind of a mountain biking mecca. We've got some old Anasazi surface sites that'll have like ancient pottery and stuff like that on it. And then if I remember right, there's one spot that's got an epic overlook. I mean, you end up on top of this cliff and it is just amazing, the views that you get up there. So we're gonna hit all three of those today. we've already checked off the mountain biking site, and so now we're going to head on to the next one, and it's going to be a great day. It is a little bit chilly today, which is a little bit of a problem because Toner has already been for a swim. She's not acting too cold yet, but hopefully she can stay warm enough. I mean, I guess she is a lab, so they're kind of made for that kind of stuff. But it is a little chilly. The truck said, I think, about 40 degrees when we got out of it, and it's every bit of 40 degrees, high 30s, and there's a bit of a breeze going too, so we're bundled up. But so far, we're having a blast.
Okay, no more, please. Stand by me and no more rocks.
All right, we're at stop number 2. This is the Anasazi surface site. Try and say that 5 times fast. Anasazi surface site. Anasazi surface site. Anyways, so we've got to do a little cross-country trekking to find this spot, and I've got a pin on my GPS. See if I can't go check it out.
Stuck in it.
Yeah. Check out this big old barrel cactus. Quite a deal. Hope Toner's pretty interested in it too. Look at that thing.
In that one. Whatever that was.
Yeah, that's usually you see smaller clumps, but that was a bigger clump. Bigger than what I'm used to seeing. Well, according to my GPS, this says we should be standing right on top of it. So now it's just time to start scanning the ground and see what I can find. I have been all the way in anyways, but I've also been kind of distracted by that back there. Those mountains are just beautiful. And then over, where are they at? Oh, yeah, over here we've got the snow on the mountains, and just beautiful. But time to start looking at the ground to see if we can find any treasures, any remnants. It's like a little, I don't know, a little fun, exciting treasure hunt to see what you can see. Okay, I think I found one little piece. I'm gonna see if you can spot it. I grew up doing this, and so my eyes, I feel like, have been kind of trained. So I'm gonna see if you can spot it when I shine you down here. Maybe I'll get a little closer. Right there, that's a piece of pottery. And just the color, the size, texture, stuff like that. Oh, I keep dropping it. I can tell it is, but if you especially look at the kind of the edge of it, that grain, I don't know if I'm going to be able to focus in on that, but you can tell that's, oh, you can tell that's a piece there. So I'm not seeing much other, but I also just heard my family holler and say, found some. So we'll wander over this direction and see what they've seen, and I'll keep watching the ground here too, see what else I can find along here. Oh, here's some, so I would call this like flint knapping, but stuff like that, that's what they would chip out to make arrowheads with. So there's quite a bit around here, you can see. See pieces like that, pretty cool. So yeah, we're in the thick of it here. Whether this would have been like a place that they lived or a place that they worked. Look at that piece. It's got like little I don't even know what it is, holes and stuff in it. maybe miniature mud wasps, you think? I don't know. But whether this was a home or a place they worked, I don't know. But it's just cool to think that it wasn't for thousands and thousands of years that they were here working, making pots, cooking food, hanging out, chatting about the weather, who knows what. Pretty cool. So if you look out through here, I don't know that the camera's going to set it up the way that my eyes do, but you can see kind of glints of shiny rocks all out through here. That's all pottery. As you get down closer, that's probably collected by other people. But just going through all this, there's just little chunks and pieces all out through here. And like I said, anything that kind of looks extra smooth and flat, that is all broken pots or pot shards, pottery, all Anasazi handiwork. Really neat. So my daughter found this piece of petrified wood. And turn it so the camera can see that. That crack right there is like some crystals or something in it, huh? Mm-hmm. It's hard to tell, but it sparkles in the sunlight. This has been a cool area to walk around and see the different pieces, size, shapes, colors. Really neat area. But part of being out here and enjoying this is respecting it. And a big portion of that is making sure that we preserve it for future people to come and see, future generations, all of that good stuff. So we can look, we can touch, but don't vandalize, don't break it. Leave it here for everyone to enjoy. And if we all pitch in and do that, we'll all be able to enjoy this stuff for years and years and years. So we were headed back to the Landcruiser. I was just talking to the kids about how to find the Landcruiser and the road and stuff, and we came across some more pottery. That one's the lip of a lid of something, just the way that it's kind of curved and shaped. So that's cool. Chuck that back down, and I'll have to keep watching the ground as we walk through here, because there's just more and more pieces of stuff. Well, I just finished up a tuna fish sandwich with apple. If you've never tried it, don't knock it. Apple slices on the tuna fish. It's good stuff. I usually like a little onion on it too. But the rest of my family doesn't. So I get tuna fish with apple at least. Fantastic for a day like today. But we've made it to stop number 2. And here at stop number 2, I am very anxious and on high alert with my children because of this. Yep. This is quite the ledge and quite the overlook up here. Absolutely beautiful. Just the scape that you can see out there. But my heart is racing a little bit when I see my kids wandering around. Even though we've told them no running, all those different rules, it just makes me very anxious to see them doing that. But this is fantastic. Really, really beautiful out here. I'll let you kind of spin you around and let you see what I'm seeing here. Well, that was a fun trail. It was cool to be able to get out, do a little mild rock crawling and play around on the rocks, and then that brought us to here. Isn't that beautiful? So this is stop number 3 and 4, and I'll show you why 3 and 4. The pond is number 3. Number 4 is across on the other side, and that's the petroglyphs. But this is just absolutely beautiful. Last time I was here, I caught a little bass out of this pond, and I'll see if I can find a picture and throw that up there somewhere for you to see too. So this is just a really cool spot. It's actually warmed up a little bit, I think. We're probably up in the mid-50s now. That breeze is gone. So it's really quite beautiful right now. Well, it took a little wandering around to refresh our memories on what we were looking for, but we found it. And this is a different style of petroglyph than what I am used to, the experiences that I've had. But check these out. This is really, really neat. Look at that. I'll turn so I can get my shadow out of it. Isn't that so cool? Just that top layer of that darker black rock. I don't know what to call it. Isn't that just so neat? Just right here on the surface. I don't know what these are, what the symbols are, any of that. But really cool to look at. I'm sure they mean something. This almost looks like a border. Birds in it maybe. At first I thought like a turtle. I don't know. Someone out there is going to know better than I am on that, I'm sure. But super cool. What a neat thing to find, neat place to find it at. Really cool. So I tend to think that maybe this whole surface at one point had writings on it, because you can kind of see that darker stuff is a top layer. So I don't know, maybe there's more here, and just the time and weather has eroded more away. It's hard to say for sure on that. I'm not, what would that be, an archaeologist or a geologist that would either understand the rocks or what those writings were and how much there would have been. But there's a good chance that maybe there's a lot more all over this. I just don't know, but really cool. This has been such a blast being out here. I think this is probably our last stop for the day, judging by the time and judging by the irritability of the kids. I think they're going to run themselves out here on the rocks. They're having a blast. But once we get back in the vehicle, it's just going to be time to head for home. So I've really enjoyed this trip. It's been really cool to be out here again, refresh my memory. And I actually met a gentleman named Larry. He was out here mountain biking, and he told me about another set of petroglyphs and anyways, a couple other points of interest out here too that I'm gonna have to do a little research on, and maybe even just a little bit of exploring someday to see if I can find. But until next time, lock them in, grab a gear, and I'll see you out in the hills. Well, I just did the polar ice plunge. I don't know how cold this water is, but it's warmer being out and wet than it is being in the water. I was getting some epic shots. Could see the Landcruiser reflected in the water. And I was just flying along sideways, not paying attention, and I hit that tree right there. And down went the drone, deep into the water. I can't find it. I'm afraid that it's lost, and lost forever, which means that the good footage on that SD card is also lost forever, which is the entire trip of today. Oh man, I'm really bummed about that. Not only because of the price of that drone, but Toner doesn't know who I am. What? Not only because of the price of that drone, but because of the footage that I lost today, and everything else. Man, that is a huge bummer. Huge bummer, huge mistake, huge frustration. It's hard to be mad when you're in such a beautiful place like this. Just incredible. But that being said, it is hard to be mad, but I'm still mad. I can't tell you how discouraging that is to have lost that drone. I've looked at it from every angle I can, and like I said, I've waded in twice. I probably won't show you all that footage because nobody needs to see that, but just to prove that I did. And maybe I better show you this just to prove how cold it is. That is ice right there. Frozen solid. So that water is very cold. Very, very cold. But I felt around. It's part of the problem is the water's just black. I think just decayed, vegetation and stuff like that. The water is just black. So you can't see much further than maybe 18 inches down. And it's cold. The bottom's just covered with reeds and sticks and stuff like that, so everything feels the same. And it's pretty much to my neck where that tree is, and I didn't see exactly where it went down, and it drops off right on the edge of that. So I don't know what else I could do. It's gone, and I only have the low res files on my phone, which I might be able to use, but my phone is also full, and so it didn't download anything beyond our first stop. Yep. Pretty discouraging because this was an epic adventure too. I mean, just amazing views, beautiful scenery, neat stuff to see like the petroglyphs and all that stuff. Just really cool. So I am thoroughly bummed about that whole scenario, but I don't know what else I can do. Yeah, it's a bum deal. So I'm gonna try and put this together in an episode for you. I hope it turns out okay. If it doesn't, I apologize. It was gonna be epic, but I'll put together a plan and we'll see on the next one. So till next time, lock them in, grab a gear. I'll see you in the hills.